Hello, Twitch and YouTube. So once again, we're back playing Shadow Empire. This time we're going to be starting a new run on a bigger planet this time, so we can hopefully get through a little bit more of the tech tree before we win the game, or possibly on the alternative, lose the game. Based on the voting, I've already gone skip past it. Based on the voting, it looks like people want to see a Medusa world, so we're going to do Medusa with alien life. Usually Medusa world will already spawn alien life, so this check mark should hopefully not really be doing anything, but we're going to guarantee that there's alien life in this world. Pretty much similar sort of choices to before. Let me turn Fog of War on to complete. I had it on known maps, so I could test various things on spawn conditions, but we'll go basically this. So we're going to do detailed planet generation, the complete Fog of War. It's only going to be me in a city-state start with militia only. Most of the stuff here is with the default basics. Development speed defaults to fast, so we're going to leave it on fast. And I'm playing on regular difficulty, but we're giving the AI all the time it wants to think. Let's go for a planet that's a little warmer than that. Yeah, something like that. I think you may have picked up my grandfather in the back playing games. So let's try something a little less built. Yeah, something like that. Why not? Now it's going to start simulating the planetary conditions. As a general rule, I want something with a little bit of mountains and a little bit of ocean, which this planet has. We see we've got some mountains. We actually have sort of normal atmosphere for a planet. So this will be good for when we want to actually fly planes. We've got rainfall, we've got oceans. I think this will be a decent working planet for what we want to do. Didn't want it completely flat, wanted to have some oceans, and we got that on the first roll. So pretty much, most of these I'm just going to be leaving it default. This is going to be the first one where we're going to make sure that we get a particular result. So in auxiliary info here, we want to see that the xenobiology is hostile. We specifically want a hostile biology here. So anytime when we get a 0 result like this, we're going to reroll, which we can do by hitting the reroll button. Not to say that this would not be a hard game start. Near instant death of hazard exposure would basically mean that we're walking around with guys that, if they take a bullet to the knee, would die from the atmospheric exposure. Not enough xenobiology. You can see here the atmosphere is a lot more hostile, but xenobiology isn't hostile enough. We're here for the xenobiology being hostile, not the atmosphere being hostile. So let's try to fix that. That made it better. That's not hostile enough. Rolling again. It is possible to get hostile. On the second test I rolled right before I started, did roll some hostile stuff, so xenobiology is still not hostile. But yeah, this is the sort of stuff I'm looking for. I'm looking for like forests, cloud forests, big forests, and some hostile biology. So we're gonna roll until we get basically that combo. Maybe I'll have to restart. Maybe I didn't make the planet favorable enough to alien life. We are getting alien life, it's just not very hostile. And to be fair, we're running into sentient life here, so there would be aliens out there that would form zones of their own. But that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for monsters that would be like Tremors or Alien or something like that. There we go. Xenobiology Combat Level 8. So this is going to have some real hostile life. We do have forests. Might want to go for jungles, but we'll live with forests. The atmosphere is insidious. The xenobiological hazard is deadly. We're not going to be growing plants in this atmosphere. And yeah, the atmosphere level is within sort of range where I think our guys will probably start off with actually respiratory systems in their armor. So in a way, it's sort of an armor buff at the beginning of the game, but at the drawback that and basically any damage they take is going to be lethal. And this is going to be our start for the Biosphere. So my goals with this roll was get some large megafauna that will be hostile, get ourselves forest on the planet with some hills and some water. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to go ahead and roll colonization, see roughly how large I can get the population. Like, roll it 5 times, and then roll until I get something around about where we rolled highest. So, looking for something 2 million plus right now. It's probably going to 2 million. I probably rolled the highest I'm going to get on the first roll, just knowing my luck. And this way we sort of mix result 2 that I suggested to people in the comments, which was Ruin World with this sort of hostile biology world. Yeah, so it looks like we're going to get into 300 million people in the pre-collapse population here. No, 5th roll's the highest. We'll stick with the 5th roll. And we see we have a mostly surface-based economy, which is usually what ends up happening when you've got millions upon millions of people. Xenobiologists are ecstatic about the native alien civilizations. And then this game's equivalent to the apocalypse happens, and our 370 million people collapse due to dissolution war, all the way down to what is it going to give us? It's thinking. Down to 4 million. So, higher than 1% survival rate. That's better than I've seen on some planets with billions of people. And I'm not going to go delving too much into here. Basically, it's giving us ideas of what happened to each of the zones. Interestingly enough, I'm not seeing any nuclear explosions, so we'll be pretty radiation low. A little bit of virulent disease. Collapse of trade. If anything, this wasn't a particularly hostile collapse. That's probably why we still have more than 1% of the population around. And the final overview layer. And just double checking to make sure that during the colonization and the collapse, no one wiped out our hostile xenobiology. And they didn't, it's still there. Biosphere still Biosphere. Seeing if there's anything particularly interesting in those steps. It looks like the biosphere is still such that we shouldn't be able to farm here. Yeah, toxic farming. Probably won't be able to farm outside of domes, which will be fine. Now we get ourselves to the the turn 0 game setup. Where the game is much like the last one, going to let us sort of choose our flag. Usually I don't mess with this step too much. Let's go the hammer and anvil for the symbol this time. Ergstone Imperium is what we're going to be. Apparently, and I am an emperor this time. Once again, it's going to give us basically a choice on all 3 of the axes. For this first one, we're still going to stick much like we did last time with commerce. I find commerce can often be the easier start of those 3. It's maybe not the strongest long game over long games, but it's probably easier of the 3 for starting. Heart, Mind, Fist. I'm going to go Mind here. I think these are pretty balanced, depending on what you want to do. Last time we did democracy. This is actually the one we're going to do differently. Where I'm gonna lean into meritocracy this time instead of democracy. I think in longer games, meritocracy is better than democracy. But for very short games, I tend to prefer democracy if I'm going commerce. Previous emperor is dead. Given our first national decision, in this case, it's our ascension speech is going to be on the government type. So we're getting to choose between autocracy, democracy, and meritocracy. I've already decided we're going meritocracy, so we'll lean into the meritocracy here. And we'll come back to the orgs once we've looked over our starting position. Okay, so we can see from our starting position that we have, right off the bat, 2 roads leading off into non-aligned forces. So we're not next to any of the miners, but we're probably within spitting distance of the miners. With that, we're not going to go foreign affairs. If it was right next to them, I'd go foreign affairs, but we're not next to them. I'm going to go ahead and go economic council first then. We can already tell that we also have a hostile directly to our north. Well, plausibly hostile directly to our north. We're not 100% sure yet. Okay, so it's a rifle militia. It's a rifle militia from a non-aligned forces zone, so it's probably not going to be too scary. And I'm going to go ahead and leave the big militia in the city for the moment. Like most starts, our goal is probably to secure effectively the cap circle, right? So the capital, we come down here to danger. Hostiles within 3 tiles of the zone raises the danger in the zone, and we don't want the danger to be particularly high, so we do want to push these guys more than 3 back. These guys are rifle militia, so they'll probably be easy to deal with. We don't know what's the case with this unit, and we drove right past it. So there's a decent possibility that this is some sort of native fauna that is actually probably going to be spookier than the rifle militia. Do we have anyone in our starting personnel pool that does not have a job? Governor, commander... No. Looks like we have no one in... Oh, we have one more guy in the resolve roll. He's actually... For what we probably going to want to use him for, which is technician, he's probably actually decent for in skills. So we'll actually... We want to immediately hire a junior. And that's turn 1. So really the only real choice here was, do we hire the junior or not? And the answer is going to be no. So we're going to roll the turn and see how the local wildlife responds to us popping out of our bunker. This is the case on a lot of starts where you have a fairly high biosphere. It's somewhat easy to find oil. In fact, we've already found oil, which is nice. I might have actually preferred finding some metal, but oil's a nice booty prize.
Negative to breach.
Okay, so that's going to make things more complicated. We're unable to encircle and destroy this marauder. We still don't know what that is. Even driving past it again. We're going to set the councils to equal balance. You're going to be our one and only eco guy. And we're down prioritize research until we've discovered paved roads and solar panels is usually what I wait for. Solar energy, paved roads. I'm actually probably going to also want to do power plants in the top 3. Oh, maybe in the... Yeah, well, it's basically discover the 4 techs from basic tech. And then take the time to research those 4 techs, is what my usual plan is with early tagging. We didn't get blessed with any additional militia. We got some political power sitting around, so I'm going to go ahead and spend it on getting us a junior. And we're going to cycle turn 2. As I sort of at the beginning of this resist the urge to spam out additional infantry, professional infantry. It would help with securing the cap circle, but at the same time would suppress the growth of the militia. Okay, so we've apparently got an exploration event. Discover a special location on hex 7717. Requesting that we help them hold it. That's believable to be held. Is a population happiness building, so it's not super important to hold, but it's believable that we could hold it. Yeah, we'll say yes. And we'll let the little bit of research that we're getting go into university. Okay, and we're either going to lose it this turn, in which case we've got free militia and just lost some word, or we're going to be able to defend it reasonably well.
Move it now! Negative to breach.
Yeah, negative to breach. Sadly, I'm not able to push that guy back. I was hoping to push that guy back. We could do prospecting push. Probably fail the roll if we try to do the prospecting push. And our prospector is implying that there's probably more oil deposits and not necessarily in metal deposits. Right? So we're saying we're sure there's some oil deposits. Okay. Which means if I do succeed on the roll, it'll just be like, oh, here's your oil deposit. I want metal, man. What I probably do want to do is we probably want to extend the road if we can. And we haven't conquered that hex. We're probably going to have a road go under the water here, so we'll go ahead and build that road. And then when possible, next turn probably we'll cross the river with it, because we're trying to get supply down to the warm springs here to help defend. And we cycle the turn. Ouch. We just had an entire militia unit destroyed. Oh, those non-aligned guys are coming hard and fast. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to be passive as much as I wanted to with recruiting professional army guys, because we're getting riggedy wrecked. Still leave the best unit there. And obviously we're going to raise a formation. Obviously we don't have enough for corps size, so it's going to be a brigade or an independent. I'm going to raise a regiment of machine guns. Yeah, let's raise a regiment of machine guns to hold the capital. And then we'll raise a brigade of infantry. Probably on the next turn, because we're short on industrial capacity is what we're short on. Anything we do with our political power? Send out spies. I am probably going to save it up for that Merc commander to command the infantry unit. Okay, we do have a minor faction here. Can we send spies to get us diplo contact to the minor faction? Not this turn. Next turn, maybe. So we'll cycle the next turn and see how the turn goes, because those rifle militia are surprisingly scary. Non-aligned forces to our north are actually scarier than used to. Which, I suppose for trying to make the video interesting is a good way to start the runoff. Expecting hostile life, and instead we've got hostile rifle militia. Put the guy back in supplies so he actually gets some food. We do have a decision. I want meritocracy to go up. And the guy that's going to be punished here has a decent opinion of me, so we'll just reverse this decision. We won't piss him off too much. We'll give a little bit of meritocracy. Okay, let's attempt to secure the border. Failed the attempt. RNG be like that sometimes.
Roger that.
And then do I have the political power? This will raise it, yes. Okay, so we'll go ahead and raise as many as we can as far as that light infantry unit is concerned. And we can try to use that to help encircle and get rid of these rifle militia who've been showing us the door recently. And we roll the turnover. Yeah, it looks like, assuming nothing changes rapidly, we should still be able to hold the hot springs. You can already see our prospectors have already found more oil. So this may be a game where we're highly mechanized in the end.
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay, so there's some of that hostile wildlife. We've run across Priniaskier squid pernus type, also known as a moor beast. Land-dwelling 8-meter top predator, resembles a squid analog. Its chemistry is water-based carbon, and it's oxygen-breathing. It is a killer apex predator and has the feats Crusader, doesn't like us humans, Cunning, Toxin, so increased possibility if it's going to kill us, and Bane. The attacker misses this critter when attacking it. The attacker loses morale. Okay, so these are not fun to fight. We get... Okay, we didn't get another minor. Roll attempt again, but hopefully we don't need it right away. We'll go ahead and try to replenish our foot infantry up as we can. And we're starting to actually be a bit more in a position where we can try to truly encircle it. Manage to get ourselves another asset. In this case, a hermit cave. The plus 10 governor XP is decent if you give enough turns to add up. And then we're going to roll the turn again. Okay, so that is the intelligent animal refusing to be encircled. Is it showing off its intelligence? We'll be friends, because we're going to deal more with the hostile wildlife than we are going to deal with you for the moment. Guardsmen. So, okay, so it'll actually be worth picking up diplomacy early on. Diplomatic faction early on. The diplomatic council early on, so we can try to peacefully integrate them. So in the early turn, we lost this hex. I think it's because there's a guy on the city here. On the... It's not a city, on the local free-folk village. The demands, when do we need to hold it for? We need to hold it for 2 more turns. Okay. Right now we have to sort of cycle the guy in and out, because we don't have the construction to run a road down there to feed him. How many guys can we get piled in on here? I'm not going to take that risk yet. Okay, so we've got a safe border. Then we have the hostility that is non-aligned forces on all the other borders. Let's roll the turn. Okay, I saw what looked like a breakout attempt. Which probably did break out, so we've lost a bunch of infantry, guns, and tanks, so yeah, we got a little bit mauled on that turn. Which, if anything, is a good indication for why we didn't attack on the previous turn, because I think it would have only made the whole situation worse. Okay, now that our civilian sector is building that oil well, let's try not to hand it over to the enemy. Try to have a good sip of tea over the turn, so I could get a frog out of my throat, but it didn't seem to work. Work decisions. So we do have someone we want to do diplomacy with, so we're going to go ahead and grab the Foreign Affairs Council. Early to do that diplomacy. We're preferring meritocracy here, so we'll take the commandos. Then we're going to balance these councils.
Roger that.
Which makes the old ones less happy, but the new one doesn't have a leader yet, so the new one doesn't actually care. Let's also go ahead and grab ourselves Junior here.
Roger that.
That way we've got some choices on the next poll. And once again, we're also going to go ahead and try to replenish our troops faster than we're losing them. So we can see, and this is why I kind of wanted to hold off building the professional army if I can. The presence of a professional army here is causing us to lose militancy level, which is the thing that drives the growth of our militia. But I just feel like in this situation, because I've got multiple hostile contacts, that I had no real choice. I had to do something. And that something was just to recruit up a bit more of the professional troops, which will at least allow me to stem the bleeding as far as territory is concerned. Okay. Okay, so I think we are in a position to deal with the encircled rifle militia here. The wild beasts that have been mauling us left, right, and center, on the other hand, I don't have a solution for, but rifle militia we can deal with. I think this is the turn. Yeah, we'll hire a candidate. Oh, we got lots of good choices for foreign affairs. Are you from a faction? You're unaligned. Okay, so you're unaligned and you hate the militia. Okay, we're not giving you this important job. We're gonna give it to this aligned person, who is at least better at the job for the moment. We only know about minor, so favor minor diplomacy right now.
Sorry, yes, sorry.
Give some meritocracy. So as far as the demand is concerned, okay, the demand is complete, so I don't need to hold this hex anymore. And yeah, I suspect we keep losing these hexes because there's probably a guy in that tile. We're replacing our footmen, hopefully faster than we're losing them. Though I think last turn it was mostly militia we lost. Yeah, so to be fair, I think the militia probably grew, replacing most of the guys we lost, just we lost more than we gained, if that makes sense. There we go, we got a reasonable defense line on the north. This militia can probably come through here and grab these tiles quickly to get the zone around the capital. Diplomacy will probably get us... probably get a protectorate on these guys. Yeah, so we've got the... I think we'll pretty quickly secure the basic surround on the capital that I want. How we're going to deal with that threatening megafauna, I haven't figured out yet. Because encircling it with our early troops here is not going to work. Maybe if we catch it in the open, but that requires it getting caught in the open. No, we did get a lucky kill on it. Didn't kill it all, but we killed a sixth of the unit by the looks of it. GR grade infantry, that might help quite a bit with dealing with that spooky guy. We're going to go ahead and do recon. Recon's the most plausible of those ones. Yeah, we'll give you the political power. It's probably not going to make a difference. Oh, it did. We rolled, because we paid the extra political power, we rolled a 157 instead of a 107. 107 would have failed, 157 doesn't. So, was worth the effort. Guardians offer technology. We have the money, so we'll accept your technology. And they let us discover sealed roads. So we've discovered sealed roads, power plants, solar energy. The only thing we're looking for is ammunition factory at this point. I'm recruiting 2 here because there's a decent possibility that 100 is actually militia forces waiting to go out. Let's roll down the road here and see if we can see another zone. There is another zone here, down here. So we'll see if that zone has met a major soon. I think that's our deployment for the turn. Let's go to this guy to the capital so he's a little bit more command efficient. Any useful strategic cards to play? Do offer protection? That's not going to pass. That's only going to piss them off. Let's not piss them off. Let's go ahead and assign this guy to our Affairs Council guy. Not sure if that affects protection. Maybe, but it's not enough to make it a reasonable roll, so we're not going to roll that yet. And we have the political power, so I'm going to go ahead and do the archaeology roll. Just because we need to start leveling our guys up if we want to find things, and do the prospecting roll. Okay, at this point we know that at least until we get more territory, there's no more oil in our capital. Which is a bit of a shame, because that also means there's no iron. I would have liked, or no metal. Would have liked to find some metal in the starting zone. We have some scrap. So we've got scrap there, and scrap there. So we might have to get metal from scrapping. And with that, I'm going to roll the turn one more time and go ahead and make that the cut for the first YouTube vid. So if you've been following along on YouTube, I hope you've been enjoying it. There'll be another part up tomorrow, because I'm going to go ahead and record one more part tonight. Might splurge and actually do 2 more parts tonight, we'll see. So catch you in the next part. Once the turn ends, we'll see what turn we rolled up onto before I end it. Give you a teaser on what we're going to be looking into next time. Okay, so we managed to do the first 10 turns in the first video, so catch you in the next one.